everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Paws and Claws, the Lost Tales of Pugmire. I'm Jess. I am your guide. You might see me down in the chat as Angry Nerd Girl. And let's meet our dogs and cats who are now aboard possibly a pirate ship, the Mermistress. Starting with Honey and Dice.
Hello, I'm Honey and Dice, and I am playing Miss Eartha Kitty, the Minister of Music.
Lynn, welcome back. We missed you. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Hi, everybody. I missed you too. I'm Lynn, and I am playing Baguette Corgi, and I am trying very hard to be a very good shepherd.
Alan, who plays oh my gosh, I made everybody go away because my computer just glitched out. I'm so sorry. Are y'all still here? We're all still here. I fixed it. Good job. Thanks, computer.
We'll see you next week, gang.
Bye, everyone. That was our show. Alan, who is out west. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
That's me, right?
That is you.
Hi, I'm Alan Johnson playing Grimly Greyhound. Happy to be back.
The Alan who is adjacent to him on my screen. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
I just want to say, I definitely was like, wait, north, south, east, is that me or his? Hi, I'm Alan Ingolson. I am playing Mr. Tittles. And, yeah, I don't know my cardinal directions.
Big mood.
I will never use cardinal directions to describe players again. Unless I'm giving you a beautiful map. Cameron, who are you and who are you playing?
Bonsoir. My name's Cameron Blair, and I play Jean-Pierre Cachet as a truly revolutionary cat.
And CB, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I am Vincent, the Mysterious Oracle.
All right, so as ever, we start with 3 fortune in the fortune bowl. Who would like to give us a previously on Paws and Claws for another fortune?
Do I need to bring up Uncle? Do
What?
I remember?
Yes.
Do I remember? So what had happened was, let me think on this, like legit. So we all dealt with the shenanigans that happened in the museum. We were done with that. We came back to the tavern and went to bed and shit. Eartha was done. Eartha was like, leave me alone. She also went to the room that had these weird animatronic bird things, and somehow, some way, somewhere, they got destroyed. We don't know if it was Eartha or not, but it could be. Meanwhile, Vincent was going on his own thing. Jean-Pierre was chill. I need JP to hop in on this though, because my uncle is cool, but I think like cousin JP will be able to finish out everything I don't remember.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, hop in on that.
Where were we? I don't remember. What?
We got to the hotel.
We got to the hotel. Yeah, we went to sleep. Then we all split up in different directions. Jean-Pierre went after Mr. Tibbles in the morning for breakfast. Started to agitate Mr. Tibbles politically. And then after reconvening, Jean-Pierre went up and checked on Eartha, made sure she was okay, got rid of the animatronic birds that she had destroyed. So there were no animatronic birds when we got there. Then once we all got downstairs, there was a cop in the restaurant. And what's that? So yeah, we all got a little antsy about that. Had a few people go over and talk to the officer. Yeah, then we all fucked off and went to the boat. And Vincent went and harassed some pickpockets and got engaged in some theatrics. And then we got on the boat, and that's where we ended.
They stole from him, and you don't steal from Vincent. Period. Okay.
Never ends well.
Also, Vincent, you did something to protect the boat before you went downstairs.
I did. I started a hollow spell to make sure that we are all protected. And unfortunately, that means at least for the next, however long we're going to role play the boat ride, I am out of commission essentially for 24 hours as I do that. However, let me get my notes, pero because I need to make sure I know what I did. Hollow does a lot of shit, but what's most
It does.
importantly is it also you can do like one extra thing, and I created something that it will have the added effect we won't be able to be surprised while in the aura, which is a 60-foot radius, which is basically the entire boat, including underneath. And with that, we'll be alert if someone, well, at least Vincent will be alert if someone comes into that aura that's not currently in it. So little nice lookout just in case, we get attacked by things.
Yeah.
Hello is great.
Yes.
And Eartha, I believe you had left a note for Baguette.
Yep.
So, what was in the note? Were you just telling her where to meet y'all? That you had gone to the place, to the boat place.
We had
ducks?
gone to the boat place where the
Gone
boats
to the boat
are.
place.
In the place. Okay. Yeah, it would be just basically a note to let her know that Eartha has paid for her breakfast, and so that she should get that before heading to the boat. And that's pretty much not a lot in that note, just letting her know that she's not been left behind.
I overslept. Shoot.
All right, so that is one fortune into the bowl. You collectively did a good recap.
It's a team effort.
So we'll start with Baguette. What were you up to after you came back from the museum?
After coming back from the museum, Baguette had a few things that she needed to do, and really glad for that fancy quill that she got, because that really helps her writing to be the best it can. First thing she did was she wrote down in her own journal just everything that happened, so she wouldn't forget any of the details or anything like that. And then from there, with her mind a little bit more focused, she wrote a letter to her bishop.
Okay.
Saying, FYI, guess what? Because she has the sense that maybe there's something larger going on she doesn't know, and she just wanted to report in back home, as it were, and let them know what she's up to with this next stage. And then she wrote a letter to Bagel because she missed her brother very much, and was very badly shaken emotionally by the encounter at the museum, and just really needed to, at least by letter, hang out a little bit with her brother. So on her way to the boat, she'll find a way to drop the letter, and the letter to the bishop in the mail.
Okay. And once you get Eartha's letter or note, are you going to have breakfast or head straight to the mail and then the boat?
I probably take breakfast to go.
Okay.
Living her student days all over again, where it's like, oh, I'm running late for class, I have to eat on the way, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to hold anybody up.
So you can get like a bagel and a few danishes and some pate spread on them if you would like. And
that sounds lovely.
Yeah. And then
just a little something in the tummy is all that matters. And coffee.
Yes. And Granny Scruffwings isn't very far from here. So you can easily get to the boat. And it stands out. It's quite a large boat. And you see mice and geckos running up and down the riggings. You hear clattering of cannons being moved. And where is everyone else on this boat? I know that Vincent is downstairs praying. So what is everybody else doing after you get here?
I think Grimly just went to stash his stuff wherever they got rooms or cabins on this boat, and he's up on deck looking around like, wow.
Okay.
So he's still up on deck.
Yeah, customary for Jean-Pierre. He climbed up into the crow's nest with the owl.
Okay.
And has begun to make friends.
Mr. Tibbles is sitting at the very top of the plank leading up to the boat.
So you're still on the gangplank?
I'm on the boat, but I'm like where the gangplank meets the boat.
Okay. And Eartha, I know you had asked about accommodations. Are you also going to accommodations?
Eartha does eventually get on the boat,
Okay.
like we established last time, but that took her a minute. But she is indeed going to look for where they'll be sleeping to make sure she knows where that's going to be. And then we'll go around endeavoring to meet the crew and see who's who and so on.
Okay. So Eartha, Vincent, and Grimly, you find that you have some... I mean, you have to share, like, double up again, but you find some pretty decently appointed cabins below deck. This boat, unlike the previous one, is accustomed to guests. So
Nice.
They have some nice bedding. There's like a little sink and a small mirror in there. And compared to where you were staying, sleeping on boxes kind of thing, it's infinitely better than the Chicken Heart.
That's not much of an achievement, but thank God for that.
It's somewhere between the Chicken Heart and Grady Scruffwings in terms of decor.
Oh, fantastic.
So, Baguette, you arrive and see Mr. Tibbles standing on the gangplank, grimly kind of looking overboard, Eartha doing her thing, and if you look high up, you see Jean-Pierre deep in discussion with a very fluffy, snowy owl.
Checks out. I know I'm in the right place. Good morning, Mr. Tibbles.
Good morning.
How are you this fine day as I make my way up the gangplank?
I'm alright.
I suspect that's not entirely true, she thinks to herself. Is this your first time on a boat?
No. Been on a boat before. Never have I left my post.
Oh. Well, I mean, you're off to do something very important. I don't know if that helps or makes things a little bit easier. Would it make you feel better if you let them know you had a delay, perhaps, and couldn't return immediately?
You can tell just like he's not sure how to process all of this.
Yeah.
It's too much for him, but at the same point he's still being as brave as he can be.
You know what? She's going to just come and sit down right next to you and just kind of be for a little while with Mr. Tibbles and, share some of her breakfast. I don't know. Did you eat? Are you still hungry?
Not hungry, thank you though.
Okay. Just going to hang out with Mr. Tibbles for a bit and try to provide some company. She has mad respect for Mr. Tibbles, so she wants to provide some at least I'm here if you want to talk, but she's not going to force you to talk kind of companionship.
All right, so Jean-Pierre, what kind of things are you talking to this owl about?
Oh, his favorite sights he has seen on this ocean. If he has ever been to the monarchies, how the weather is up here. What his name is.
Well, it's Scraffles.
Say that one more time, please.
Scraffles.
Blazers.
Scraffles.
Forgive me, it is my accent. Scraffers.
Yeah, that's it. Scraffles.
Wonderful.
SCRAFFLES. Scraffles.
I will get used to it. Thank you very much.
And he lifts up his eye patch and winks at you.
Oh, that is for night vision, no? That is what my father told me in the tales.
Says, well, I've always got night vision, you see, but it helps.
Oh, extra night vision! I see how this is very useful.
It helps me see in the day.
Oh, that makes... Wait. Wonderful. Whatever you say. What can you see up here? What is the best thing, most exciting thing you have seen on your days in this crow's nest? Have you seen any crows? I have been in many crow's nests and still have not met any crows.
Oh, so many crows, but they're loud folk. Always
Makes
chattering
sense.
about murders.
He
kind of gets a faraway gaze.
Monsieur Brothers, that is what the group of them is called. Of crows.
That makes sense. Why do you call it? Oh, okay.
A murder of crows is a group of them.
And he kind of taps his wing to his head and goes, that makes more sense and makes them seem a mite less dangerous.
Well, it seems like it would. So what can you tell me about this captain? Huh?
Oh, Captain Saltclaw, she's a good cat. She's a strong gunner, brave, fearsome, always keen to go, find some treasure, rescue anyone who needs rescuing, and sail into the unknown.
Right. Oh, was it is good for this journey? So how often does she rescue treasure from others?
Well, she rescues folk, and she finds treasure.
Oui.
Sometimes the folk have treasure, too.
Well, this makes sense to me. How do you feel about guests up in your crow's nest every once in a while? I have a habit for high places.
Oh, it's fine. I used to have a little frog feller who'd hang up here, but now he just runs around the deck. He got blown off once, then he couldn't fly. And then I made a rule that only folks who could fly could stay up here, but you're a guest, and guests can do what they please, so as long as you watch your ass, the seas burn.
I'm sure they do. If things ever get rough, I don't plan on being up here. No offense, but I'm not as finely feathered as you are. But
he puffs his chest out when you say that.
Well, thank you so much, Monsieur Brothers. I will
Scraffles.
That is what I said, no?
I don't matter.
Huh? No, I am saying what you said, huh?
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, thank you so much for this conversation. It was enlightening. And I will return to the deck, Monsieur.
He kind of props back, and he does oh my gosh, there's a cat on the roof across from my, oh, sorry. There's a cat out my window on the roof. He kind of like flies up a little bit and leans on the mast and crosses his wings in front of him.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. Jean-Pierre will climb down at that moment.
And you encounter Eartha, who is meeting crew members, and see Mr. Tibbles, Grimly, Baguette.
It seems we're all here except, where is Vincent? Did I not see him?
He went below deck. I think he was going to go do some thing. Because I don't think he actually told us what he was going to do. He was just like, peace.
No, what? It seems we're all here then.
He told Eartha to sorry. He told Eartha that he was doing something to protect the ship. That's all he said.
Well, I will go tell this captain that we are ready to go cast off, no? Well, I'm going to do it anyway, so give me one moment and I'll go towards the captain to tell her we're all here.
Grimly, how you doing on this boat?
Grimly's actually feeling pretty good about it. I mean, until Baguette was here, he's just been kind of hanging off, looking off the side after stashing his stuff. And,
Okay.
you know, reassuring Eartha with her anxiety because, hey, I'm a professional when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But no, he's actually looking pretty good at the moment.
Okay, cool. And you see some seagulls, but not the kind that had the pinions in their wings that you encountered before. They seem to just be like regular seagulls.
Nice.
And it's a nice, clear day. Good day for sailing. So, with a shout, you hear, and Baguette, this is your first time seeing Captain Saltclaw, who is a tuxedo cat with a massive feathered hat and whiskers that are a little ratty. You can tell they're kind of burned off in places.
Oh my.
And she goes, "Are we all aboard then?"
Baguette stands up and offers a hand to Mr. Tibbles so we can not have our legs hanging off the side of the boat by the gangplank.
Yeah. Take the hand.
I believe we are, Captain.
She says, "Mr. Rockpaws, fire away, we're off." And you hear a massive boom from a cannon. And I would like you all...
Well, there goes the peace and quiet.
I would like you all to give me a save, a charisma save against gunpowder panic.
A charisma save?
Legit question, is that including me as I do my spell?
It's loud. You can hear it. So yeah,
Okay,
save to
fine.
keep concentration.
Well, I'm not bothered by charisma.
21.
Is this for fear in particular?
Yes,
Or
it is.
something else.
So you're fine.
I'm immune.
22.
See, if it were wisdom, I'd be fine.
Oh,
Charisma,
actually, you know what? It's not fear. It's not fear. Oh, it is partially fear, but you're not.
I'll
able to
roll for the
everything.
other part.
Yeah.
Oh.
15.
Oh.
That is charisma save.
Mm-hmm.
8.
Okay.
Shockingly, this is the only one I have a negative for. 15.
Oh.
Hey. Jean-Pierre, how'd you do?
21.
Okay. Eartha?
14, I think. It's just the charisma. No proficiency or anything else, correct?
Not unless you're proficient
Not
with
unless you're proficient in charisma saves.
I don't know what that means, so we're going to stick with 14.
Wait, are you a minister? You're a minister, right? Oh, wait, is that a Mordicordi? I mean, is that a monarchy thing?
Yeah, that's a
it.
money.
Yeah.
It's a monarchy thing. Yeah.
That's the one PDF I don't have.
It's on Dropbox. You could get it. I put character thingies there. Yeah, I don't. I'll check, but I think I don't have it.
I'm pulling it up now.
Okay.
because there's a bubble beside it that's been filled in,
Oh,
but
Then
charisma?
you should
Then
be
yeah.
proficient in that one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you would add your modifier and your proficiency bonus to whatever you roll on the d20.
Yeah, so that's probably like a plus like 9 or something crazy for you.
yeah, so that actually is a 19.
Okay.
This would have changed so many other previous rolls we
Oh
did.
no. Oh
I was like, Minister, I feel like you have to be charisma based.
no. Yeah.
Right.
Both my con and my charisma because of my house and my class. You know, you live, you learn.
Yeah. Baguette, what did you get? Sorry.
15.
Okay. So everybody's good except Mr. Tibbles. All you hear is a high-pitched ringing in your ears.
Oh. Oh no.
And everything's gone really quiet for you.
Grimly drop to like a feral crouch on the deck, like, and like slowly gets was like, oh, okay, is that how we push off? What was that?
And the ship takes to sea.
It must be some sort of celebrations as they are leaving.
I mean, don't most people just usually break a bottle of wine or something?
Well, you see, but some cats, they like to have a little bit more oomph. Sometimes you just push a empty glass off the table and make sure it shatters when you leave the room. So this may be something like that.
Mr. Tibbles, you see Jean-Pierre's mouth moving, and all you hear is...
Bop, 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 bop.
What?
Oh.
What?
Guide, if Baguette does, one of her healing tricks, is temporary deafness a condition she can remove?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
can you remove a condition?
Well,
Because there are some heal tricks to remove a condition.
right.
Mhm.
Well, the one I've got right now, it gives the target the chance to remove. It would basically be a wisdom saving throw
Okay.
for one condition. So yeah, Beckett's just gonna put her paw on Mr. Tibbles. Like, he doesn't look wounded, but she's still gonna do a healing on him. And so you can make a wisdom saving throw to try to get your hearing back.
Nat one.
Oh no. Yeah, it's just really stubborn, I guess. Oh.
So, this'll go away eventually.
Yeah, she just felt really bad.
Take
for
some
it.
time. How you holding up, Mr. Tibbles?
What? Yeah, now that we've started, actually moving,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Tibbles is shaking, with anxiety. Oh, we're leaving. Abandoning my post. This is fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Beckett's going to try to just take, your paw in hers and just give a reassuring little squeeze, like, it's okay, it's all right. Would try to, yeah, that's why she's not actually saying anything. It's just all body language, like, it'll be okay, it'll be fine,
I mean, yeah.
Jean-Pierre's just gonna walk to the front of the boat and go lounge just on the prow.
Okay. Grimly, how does it feel to not be the least anxious person in the crew for a change?
I mean, pretty good. Grimly's going to go over to Mr. Tibbles there and just be like, can you hear us? Or are you just shouting because you're nervous? Because I do that too.
I'm sorry, what? What are you saying?
Yeah.
All I hear is
I'm going to take out some little parchment from my bag and like a quill and just really quickly scribble, "You can't hear."
Yeah.
I write deep breaths.
That's not helping.
Oh.
I'm gonna take Mr. Tibble by the shoulder and be like, "Hey, how about this?" I'm gonna lead him away from like the edge of the ship where like you can see all the water. I'm like, "Yeah, let's go stand in the center of the ship." There we go.
I have a question. Do you have to like kneel down to actually reach me?
No, it's just like
I'm like, you're a greyhound. I'm a munchkin.
Yeah, I know. It's like when you like, I'm gonna get my older brother to beat you up. Like my hand, like,
I would
on
think
your.
Grimly just has to do kind of a this. He's like 7 feet tall, and you're like, what, 4 feet tall?
Yeah, something like that.
That's just how it be sometimes.
You know, Grimly, maybe when his hearing comes back, maybe you could try teaching him some of the meditation exercises that Bagel taught you.
I think that's probably a good idea. I mean, this is kind of nice, though, right? We just get to sit back and relax for a while, enjoy the. I'm gonna go actually back over to the edge of the boat and call him back. Just be like, "Is that actually acid?"
And one of the, you see a frog actually run up to you and go, "Oh, yep, that's acid, all right."
It's like a big frog or a little frog?
It's a little frog.
Okay.
I mean, no, it's like 2 foot tall frog. It's like
Okay.
an awakened frog.
Actual frog or like Animal Crossing frog?
Animal Crossing frog.
Got it.
It was nope. That's definitely a acid, all right. I used to hang out, and he points up and goes into the crow's nest, but I fell, and it sure wasn't pleasant.
Oh, that doesn't sound pleasant at all. Was it okay if I'm gonna pull out another piece of paper and just like lean over the edge and just drop it into the water and see what happens?
Sure. So that paper falls in, and it seems to float there for a few seconds, and you're like, oh, that's okay. And then it suddenly starts to smoke, and there is no more paper.
I just stare for a second. I look at the frog. So wait, it's actually acid? I thought that was like a metaphor or figurative or something.
Nope, these boats are made of plastic. And he kind of bangs on the boat. Captain got mad at me because I was scraping off some to buy some shinies on the side. But apparently it's important for protection. Didn't really believe it until I fell in and hurt my stickies. And he holds up his hands, I guess. Do frogs have paws? His hand paws. And
we're not here to use technical terms.
You see that he has little like scorch marks on his hands.
As he holds up both hands, Mr. Tibbles just kind of goes, "High five?" He doesn't know the conversation. He just sees this.
Oh no!
High
He
five?
will give you a high five. And Mr. Tibbles, give me a notice check, please.
Notice that is. I need to start writing this down. Wisdom.
Yeah.
19.
Okay. You feel after the high five, some movement in where you keep your coins. And see the frog has like gone from high-fiving to trying to pickpocket you. And just looks at you and goes, hee 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 hee.
Mr. Tibbles is definitely gonna like grab that hand.
Just keeping you sharp, buddy.
I can't hear you, but
Yeah, you basically
I'm
just see a frog
watching
making
you.
finger guns at you like this.
just
I'm gonna. Do I see this happening?
Yes, you do. You
Okay.
see this frog high five Mr. Tibbles, and then instead of dropping his hands, try and reach around and rob him.
I'm going to come up behind the frog then and just put a paw on his shoulder, be like, "Hey, buddy, what's your name?"
Oh no.
Well, they used to call me Sticky Paws, but now they call me Smoke Paws.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. Smoke Paws, hey, I'm going to be honest with you, pal. Probably the least wise thing you could do is try to steal from anyone who just came on board. Because between you and me, they'll end you. It'll be back in the acid with you, buddy.
Give me either an intimidate or a persuasion check, please.
Oh, please.
Can I assist on this?
Yeah, you can.
I will just say after he says that, what he said. I don't know.
Hey, that's a 19.
Okay, let me see.
It's just this very calm sincerity,
Yeah.
like, I've seen some shit, man. Trust me.
Are you intimidating him or persuading him?
I'm intimidating him. This isn't
Okay.
persuasion. This is like, you'll die. Like, no joke, dude.
Oh no.
You just see him go like, "Yipe!" Okay, I'll tell the crew to stay out of the guest quarters.
Probably a smart move. But hey, thanks for the info, I guess.
Yeah, look out, it burns. Then he kind of hops away.
Oh. Oh.
I'm going to look at Mr. Tibble's like pause for a second. I'm going to write on the paper, the water burns.
Oh no.
Mr. Tibbles is gonna, like, at this point, pull out his little booklet that he has, his little journal, flip to the very last page, and just write, "I watched."
Eartha, how are you doing?
She's doing good. She's just, prowling on the deck. Again, getting to know the people that are there. Endeavoring to do everything she can to keep her mind off of the fact that they are literally on purpose, not accidentally, not because they've been shanghaied or kidnapped or somehow forced into it, but on purposefully traveling in a plastic boat on a corrosive ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So talking to people helps with that. Trying to get a feel for the crew, their intentions, how long they've been doing this kind of stuff and so on. Basically weighing how many of them they may accidentally have to kill, depending on how this goes, because this is her second time on a boat and stuff happens.
Okay. Yeah. And I'll say for all of you, this boat is more plastic than any of you, except for maybe JP, have ever seen in your life. So maybe Eartha, yeah, you've hung out with princesses. But I mean, in one place, to be using this much plastic, how does it feel to not be spending it, but you're basically riding around in a ship made of gold?
I was just thinking that, like, so basically this is like, welcome to our golden yacht. It's like, damn.
Yeah, that's why it's pretty common for people to, like, chip away at the boats. So what's it like to be sailing around in money?
Strange.
This must be what the bourgeoisie feel like.
Baguette's not used to money because, whether you look at it as an academic or as clergy, they don't make money.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely something she does not expect to do again. It's like, how very strange.
Okay.
I mean, Grimley is, at first it was kind of weird, but after seeing the water, it's like, yeah, okay, that's a good precaution. Any amount of plastic is worth not melting.
It'll sink in after the anxiety.
It's not so
Literally.
funny. As this is not the first time type of decadence Jean-Pierre has seen.
All right. And Eartha, you've probably
What do
sung
you
on yachts
mean?
before.
Of course, I've been on yachts before. Sometimes by invitation, sometimes because it's just a good business deal.
All right. So after, a day or so passes, Mr. Tibbles, gradually your hearing comes back. And Vincent, are you allowed to eat while you're casting this spell, or do you have to focus all your energies on it?
I mean, no. Like I can keep myself fine. I'm just like I'm not gonna put any like strenuous effort into anything else. Yeah.
So that was gonna make you do like a con save to see.
I mean, but if you want me to do that, I can.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Because I assume nobody here is gonna let you starve while you're spell casting.
But I feel like it's one of those things that he gets so into it. There's like I think it's more so major, just like.
Yeah, and it's not listed as a concentration spell.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
So
it's just you just have to focus on it, casting it for so long.
Make a con save to eat this bagel.
Exactly.
yeah.
Well,
At some point, when Baguette comes across Eartha, she does want to say thank you for the note and for providing breakfast. And it's very thoughtful, and she's very grateful. So,
To be completely honest, my dear, none of us would be on this particular mission if it wasn't for your particular interests in the end result. So,
all the more reason that I'm very grateful. So, thank you.
Of course, my darling. And when you do have a moment, there are some things that perhaps we can discuss pertaining to safety tools that we may be able to use. But this is the first day. How many days is this going to take? I don't know. But on the first day, I never discuss business.
Just relax. Enjoy. Try to get comfortable.
telling a cat to be comfortable on a boat.
Oh, my
I said
dear.
try. I said try.
Yes. Try is not really a common word in the cat vocabulary. You either go for it or you do not. So maybe that's what try means. You go for it, but expecting a different result. Who knows? But no, I will not be comfortable on this boat or on the acid. But I will be comfortable knowing that those who I care about are close by.
Give her a little hug. Knows it's not easy, so.
So yeah, the night passes. Well, the day turns to night. You are brought food by the crew. And it's pretty decent fare. Like, they're used to guests, and it's not, stuff that they shot off of the side of the boat, like on your last boat ride. This is stuff that they clearly brought from Waterdog Port and cooked for you, Vincent, in otter, in leathers, and a little sailor hat brings you some fish in a berry sauce. And
you can see Major in the back. It's like, not for you.
And yeah, it's a beautiful starry night. Jean-Pierre, since you are staying on deck, you see Scraffles just kind of, my time. He kind of stretches his wings and does a lap around the mast. There's not a cloud in the sky.
I feel like that is cheating. That crow's nest is meant for someone to climb up and see. He can just do whatever he wants. But...
And you have a few days on this boat? Let's say Vincent. Well, first, Vincent, your spell casts. Nobody can be surprised. And what happens when you come out and say hi to everybody? Now that your mouth is full, please roleplay.
I mean, once it's all done, he would just kind of feel the air to make sure that he does feel his magic. And once he feels that, he will probably find Eartha and Baguette.
Okay.
To inform them what exactly he did, because he didn't really say, he just did. And that's kind of his usual MO, but now he realizes, oh, I should probably tell them. So yeah, he would just let them know that there's a hollow spell. He would assume that Baguette knows what that spell is. If Eartha doesn't, he will explain what's going on. And after that, he kind of just does his own thing.
Okay.
He's not really pressed about being on a boat. I think he's been on one or two in his time. I think if anything, Major's making friends with the crew. As he kind of just sits back with a book or a pamphlet or whatever he's reading. As a matter of fact, I feel like he might have one of JP's pamphlets. just very curious to know exactly what he spouts off on. And yeah, just very relaxed.
When Vincent comes to tell us what he cast, Baguette would also offer to tag team that with you, because she can cast it as well. So if after that 24 hours is over, she can cast it again if we're still on the sea, so one person isn't expending all of their spells.
But the good thing about the spell is it lasts until it's dispelled.
Well, okay, yeah, I thought it lasted 24 hours. You're right. Yeah,
it's a
it has
24-hour
24
casting
hours
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got most of the shit. But if there's any spot he didn't get, he would probably be like, "If you would like to, I don't think it is necessary."
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I think between the two of us, we can cover the whole ship. Then it doesn't really say what the range is; it just says an area.
It's a 60-foot
area.
sphere.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, between the two of us, we can cover the whole thing. So
Yeah.
All set.
It stops us from being surprised in what else?
So the base of the spell. Let me get back to it. It's right here. The base of the spell. No unseen can come into the area. Period. And people can't be charmed, scared, or possessed by the unseen or the undead. Within the area. And if anyone is, if they happen to be, they can re-roll to make sure that to break it.
Cool.
And then on top of that, I get to choose a spell. I choose an effect, and that's the surprise effect.
Yeah, so the first few days of your voyage go pretty peacefully. Those of you who are, making friends with the crew, you hear some good music. Eartha, you might sing along.
Question for the guide. Sailing has been smooth the last few days? There's been no bumps. There's been no odd weather or precipitation.
There has not yet, no.
Okay.
You do see some fun animals. But you
on
were
the
aware
boat
of
or
them
on the
because
water?
of the hallow spell. You can sense them because of the hallow spell under the water. And once your attention is drawn to them, you see them alongside the boat. So you see some sharks. You sense the presence of jellyfish.
Eartha, after about how many days does this journey take? Do we know? Do we not know?
You don't know how long it's going to be because you are sailing somewhere that no one has ever been.
Gotcha.
But so far, you've been on a boat for about 2 or 3 days.
All right. So after about day 3, Eartha will call everyone down to one of the cabins where she has laid out closest approximation to a map that she can find, knowing that it's unknown, but she's going to find a map of what is known.
Okay.
So that they can start the discussion on approach plans. Now that there is no concern about being surprised or surprise attacks or so on, her focus is going to be making sure they are prepared when they do come upon the place that apparently was created to destroy boats, and kill people. So she's just wait till people eat or this or that, and is going to try to call together a planning session.
I feel like when I didn't realize it let us sense the presence of the things below the boat too.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when that Hallowed spell first popped off, Grimly just screamed wherever he was in the boat. He's like, yes, I suddenly have awareness of every form of life below us.
Yeah. And there's like acid-resistant giant crabs and sharks.
Okay, wait, why are the giant acid-resistant crabs swimming under a boat, like waiting?
They're walking. They're way below the deep.
Only 60 feet.
But, it's 60 feet, but you go through some, like, sandbars.
Those are the terrifying times.
You go
but I
over
feel like
sandbars,
after
and
that,
that's
though,
where there are some crabs.
I feel like after that, though, it's actually surprisingly, like, pretty nice, because, I mean, we can't be surprised. We can't be feared, even, fear conditioned, but still. So imagine it's, like, actually kind of like a chill aura. So by the second big room, it's like, okay, you know what? This is weird, but I'm all for it. But yeah, he's going to come down and join Earth or whatever she
I
calls
feel
for.
like every now and then, because it's Vincent, you said it's chill, but every now and then I think you hear like the static, like that white noise static that you hear when like a TV comes on or whatever.
Yeah.
Every now
Yes,
and
I
then
too am an
the
old
characters
person.
yes, every now and then I think the characters will hear like a small bit of that. It's like that is all around in the aura. Woo! Like gotta bring the creepy human part back into it. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Just redact the last part then that I said. Every time Grimly just hears it's the worst.
Definitely during this journey, Mr. Tibbles will, once he can hear again, go up to Grimly and just like, how do you deal with this anxiety?
What? Oh, I just kind of ride it, these days. It's just, I mean, it used to be worse, like way back. Kind of stopped me from doing a lot of stuff, but these days, I mean, you either sit there being anxious doing nothing, or, you have a breakdown and then you go do something.
That was surprisingly unhelpful.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not like a counselor or anything. I just deal with this daily. Sorry.
Okay then.
I apologize if you were looking for a good answer.
I thought that was a helpful answer.
I appreciate your time. And he will leave and go to Baguette.
Better idea. Also, Grimly is going to go down because Eartha was waiting for us, right?
Yeah. Earth is waiting
he's
for
gonna go
y'all
down
for
while they do that.
map planning mission.
Nap time. But yeah, definitely would go and find Baguette.
Mr. Tibbles.
Hello. Is that anything to fix anxiety? Gwimly was surprisingly not that helpful.
Well, it can be a process, but I can help teach you some exercises that might be able to help you in the moment. And, it's not going to be immediate, but I can work with you a little bit on that. Grimley's come a long way. Oh my goodness.
Really?
So yes, Grimley has come a very long way.
Ugh.
So just know it's possible. It's okay, and kind of put my arm around Mr. Tibbles as we walk and talk. I'll do my best. My brother is really good with these meditation exercises, and that helped Grimley a lot. So maybe they'll help you too.
All right. And what's it like being away from your post? What is the religious equivalent to post?
Well, being away from my home church, it's a little, I mean, to some degree, anywhere I go is part of my job. But honestly, this is the first time I've been this far away. And the furthest away I've been from my brother. So that's a little stressful for me. But I'm focusing on why I'm here and what I'm doing. And I just think about when I get back home and I get to see Bagel again and I get to see my apartment again, it'll be okay. I feel the fear and do it anyway, as the saying goes.
Oh, I look forward to the meditations, and maybe when this is all over, well, I can visit you and Snowball.
I would like that very much. Come on, let's go. And maybe focusing on the mission will help, because then you'll be able to turn your attention to something else, something active, right? I look forward to hearing your insights. Come on.
So at Eartha's meeting, how secret is the meeting? Did you just tell these these dogs and cats about it, or were you kind of telling everybody?
These dogs and cats.
Okay.
Jean-Pierre's gonna hide in the hallway and wait to be the last one to go in.
Are you like checking to make sure nobody else comes in?
Sure.
Okay.
I have to ask them, do I see JP when I come
Yeah,
down?
give me a stealth check, JP.
I'm gonna tell you right now, no.
Probably not.
It's a 28.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a notice check, right?
Yeah, anyone who wants to look for... Actually, you know what? You're not even actively looking for him, are you?
No.
So just what's your passive notice? It's 10 plus your notice bonus.
That is a spicy... Oh, plus my well, okay, it's still 15 for passive.
Okay,
No.
so yeah, you don't see him. So Jean-Pierre stays hidden. Everybody's going into Eartha's room.
Yep.
Piling in there.
Jean-Pierre, what are you doing?
Well, like you suggested, seeing if anyone else is trying to sneak in or eavesdrop, because
Okay.
that was a great idea. But then once everyone's inside, Jean-Pierre will go in and say, so I heard this meeting was about direction and going to this place that nobody knows where it is, but I know where it is. And Jean-Pierre will take out the compass that was given and say, I have this magic compass that was given to us that points us in the direction of this island. So I think we're okay.
Yes, you have that. But I think it's less of a how do we get there and more when we do get there, what are we going to do? Because we've got lots of wonderful things that we'll have to face. One, we literally cannot touch the water. Because why do they even call it a sea? It's not a sea. It's not water. It's acid.
Well, it used to be, apparently.
Vincent, you
All
would
right.
know like exactly what this water used to be.
And what did it used to be?
It used to be the Caribbean.
Wow. That board drop notes.
I was about to say, like, wait a minute. Does that mean we just left from Florida?
Oh no!
Yes, Pugmire is in Florida. It's been established now.
At least
Kinda
one
wondered-
for Dogport is.
Oh, that's
I
rough.
told y'all Water Dog Port was Key
then
West.
It was before us all along, right in front of our eyes.
Kitty.
He would pipe up and probably
Urtha
say,
looks so upset. And I don't know if it's funny or Urtha.
he would just pipe up and say, "This place was once, let's see, not made of the chemicals that's making it up now. Long ago, during man's reign, it was called, well, the equivalent of the Caribbean."
Well, technically, it still has a water base, but the way that just the science of these things works, it's technically still water, but the acidity level content of it has just increased significantly. But it is neither apples nor pears.
Question, what is a chemical?
What is a Caribbean?
You know, those are very wonderful questions, and let's write those down so that we can have further discussion on that. But right now, I'm more concerned about the fact that we have confirmed that it's a water-based substance, which means how rain works, how evaporation works. Does this mean we also have to deal with acidic rain?
That is why we have the plastic ponchos that I bought at the store in Water Dog Port. And then we have the massive light that Grimly has been toting around on his large back.
Right.
And then we have the scrolls that we acquired from this museum.
So she's going to lay out each scroll individually. This one right here is water walking.
I can also cast that, so if something happens to that scroll, we can all
That's good to
be
know.
covered.
Why
Yes.
why would it rain acid? I'm 3 steps behind still. Sorry.
Grimly, you
Yes?
can- I would never want to, how do you all say, shut you up, but this can be answered once we figure out the main.
Wait, Grimly, we will go over a science lesson after this. I will tell you about these chemicals, and I will tell you about how it would acid rain. But just know
Okay.
for now that we have to be prepared for it. Okay?
It is unlikely, but
I would also like to join this lesson.
That's perfectly fine. I can tell you how to mix certain chemicals and do some fun things with them.
Good.
But,
JP's going to teach us how to make a bomb.
and
Anyway.
the scrolls are-
She says, all right, this one is water walking, and if something happens to Baguette, we have the scroll. All right, this one is for gust of wind. Not quite sure what that's going to do. Just going to make it super windy. Might come in handy. And those are her hand is going to hover over the third scroll before she says, this one is the scribbles of someone who was experimenting with a new thing. I don't know how much we can actually rely on it. So let's focus on what we do know. We do know that we are going to have to wear plastic to protect ourselves. We do know that the compass will lead us there. The lamp has some other part
It
to
is
play.
about the fog. The mysterious, creepy fog. Oui.
Right.
The one that
Being
covers
able to-
all the water stuff. Yeah.
Oui.
All right. So we have a way through the fog. Did anyone catch in any of their conversations that I may not have been a part of, because everyone has been talking to everyone, doing all kinds of things? What type of creatures may exist? that
So-
also may be trying to kill us.
The question I have, I'm sure there are things beneath these waves that might want to see us as delicacies, though I have prevented them from doing it without our knowing. But that's not my question. When we get to the island, other than the unseen, do we know of anything else that might reside there?
Well, I have heard stories about the cat kraken, but I think it's only a myth, you know. But I'm sure there are other spooky beasts in the water that will come and get us. But
Anybody who wants to talk about some sea beasts you might have heard of can give me a no culture roll. Eartha, you can make that an advantage because you spent most of your time talking to the crew.
What is no culture?
It is intelligence. It's something I wish D&D had.
I was like, I don't have that skill. I was like, what? That's a thing?
Yeah. Instead of
I'm gonna
like, it's
volunteer
like no
Grimmer this
history, no arcana, no culture. It's to like know the culture of like city or know an area that you're in.
Gotcha.
18.
I think the closest might be like in Pathfinder. There's knowledge local.
Yeah. Warhammer has
Where
that
you
too,
can
like
kind of-
lore of a certain
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, that's definitely better than mine. I rolled a 14. So
Who had a 15?
I had a 14.
I had an 18.
Yeah.
That was what I heard.
Eartha knows all the things.
Eartha knows all the things. So, Eartha, in addition to the sharks and giant crabs you've been sensing, you know there's some truth to the cat kraken. You've heard the crew joking about a leviathan. What's been of particular interest to you is some kind of worried talk that they don't run into any sea folk. And you hear them talking about, you know, sting rats and catfish and dogfish and hoping that they're not a problem. You've noticed Smoke Paws, the frog, doing regular sweeps of the ship for what appear to be barnacles of some sort to make sure the ship is okay. And you've heard Captain Saltclaw yell at the crew that they're as nervous as a pack of spider goats.
Mm-hmm. So Eartha will look to each person to see if anyone has heard anything before addressing the particular situation, and she's just going to go, all right, well, there was a lot of combinations of creatures that they kept mentioning that may be of concern for us. There was catfish, dogfish, sting rats. There was some mention of a spider goat. I don't even want to know what that is. We just need to be prepared not only for defense, but also for combat. And can someone please remind me just ultimately what is the goal here? Is it to find an answer to a question, or is it to retrieve something that needs to be found?
I know the answer to this as well, actually.
as far as that massive fish told me and Snowball, it is to go and help the unseen attain our goal, and then they will fuck off.
Yes, but we have a particular. We're sent on this because the princess gave us a mission, and I think that's also the question. Why are we being sent here? So,
Well, the mission was information gathering, no?
This princess. Sorry, what did you say, Cameron?
This initial mission was information gathering, no?
I was unsure or unclear myself about what this princess has said about the mission. Do we know more information about that, or was it pretty, I don't know,
Vague.
Grimly, do you still have the letter from her?
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna reach in my pack and be like, oh yeah, I do have that. Whoops. I'm gonna pull that out, and I don't have written down what it says, Jess, but
Hey, neither do I.
oh,
awesome.
this is why we keep notes.
It's true.
I'm sure I had it at one point. No, you know what? I think I was a jerk and I just made it up. The letter, because you wanted a letter from both princesses at that point.
So it's basically them sending us to the place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one was from Anastasia or from Yosha? This one was from Yosha.
This one, Yosha.
Yeah, it basically said that she wanted you to... She was concerned about what the Frenzied Man had been up to and how they were harnessing necromantic energies and what was going on with the unseen. And she had heard basically the wild rumors Priscilla had been investigating about finding the origin of the unseen.
Yeah, it's to ascertain the nature of the unseen.
Yeah.
That's what I have in my notes. But
okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the letter.
That this was a place that Priscilla's research had indicated had
basically
some...
the Pugmire Inquirer.
Yeah, it was kind of like, well, this is where it all started. This is the origin point. And since the Friends of Man had been such a presence that the princess and the other nobles had to deal with, and we had successfully exposed that, she wanted more information, and
proved your worth to Pugmire.
So 2 parts. This is me, Omega, trying to process.
Yeah.
So because the Friends of Man had necromantic ties to the unseen, and they've become a presence, they're dealt with in a way, but the princess still wants to know where the unseen come from.
Yeah.
So send it to the island. At the same time, the fish, the Carpathian carp, spoke to
Cyprian carp, but yes.
Cyprian. I said Carpathian. Same difference. Not at all. Cyprian. I wrote that down too. Cyprian said to deal with it. Whatever the answer was, to help the unseen and
to find out what they want.
Find out what they want.
Yeah.
It was less about destroying them than finding out what they want.
Cool. Okay. Now it's all coalescing for me. And Vincent.
That's all right. So we are risking our lives on an information-seeking mission for royalty that is important to members of this party. With that being said, what is our we are going no further and returning point?
I would have to, if this is something that not only this princess has spoken about, but the Cyprian carp also has some form of knowledge of, it would be worth going as far as actually figuring out the origin. Because if Friends of Man could have ties to them so easily, potentially, who else could? And what does that mean for Pugmire and the Monarchs?
And not only that, but these have been and Beckett just tries to choose her words very carefully. The unseen have been a presence since presumably the time of man. If there's something that we can do that finally, whether it's to give them what they want, which depending on what it is that they want, we may not be interested in doing, but if there's a way to eradicate them from the harmful presence that they have had here, then that is something in itself that is important. we've seen how they take lives and they destroy lives. So I would like to see an end to that.
Well, if my life is on the line, I'm leaving. I have better things to do than this.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, honestly, this is all really exciting for me, you know, going off on an adventure and seeing horribly terrible, scary things, but I also don't really want to die. I mean, I kind of just like glance at JP and like, I mean, I'm not that indentured to the nobles back in Pugmire, so.
I will add, though my goals aren't necessarily aligned with this mission either, we all saw what that major demon could do. If there are more who are willing to be that bold,
There are.
that is something I would like to cease.
And I will support you in that endeavor. But there are many cats back in my home that, from what I have seen, have suffered a worse fate than that.
Well, I will 100% add, I do not plan on dying on this island. However, I will do all in my power as an oracle to see that some resolution can come for this. I'm not expecting to be the ones to eradicate all unseen or finish or be the solution to something that has been a problem since way before we even existed. Even Claudia knows that. But I will do what I can until I cannot any longer, and then I will leave.
Bertha takes all of that in. JP would recognize this. Other people have not seen her do this precisely, but she has these thick journal-like books out where she's keeping notes and tabulations and almost looks like she's doing some type of math in each one as she's adding up things. And she writes in a way where it looks like music across each page. So it goes top to bottom and then right to left as she goes. And she just leans forward, takes a deep breath. We're all on this mission for different reasons. I would be lying if I would say I know what my reason for being here is, which can be dangerous as a minister because your main job is to help guide and minister to people's needs. The common...
Hello?
Really, that wasn't necessary. That's a neighborhood street. You don't need to go that fast.
That was a loud wail.
That,
Yeah.
yep.
Ooh.
It says, all right, this is what's going to be most important moving forward, that we all know that our goal is to make sure either one of us, none of us die. I think we can agree that if push comes to shove, we'll always support each other in that way. But we're dogs and we're cats working together in a way that you don't usually see cats and dogs working together. And unless we address that, I'd say elephant in the room, but I don't think that's apropos.
Yes, there's no elephants in this room.
What's an elephant?
You haven't seen a turtle, and you have not seen an elephant. I am so surprised.
Jump here. I work in Pugmire. I don't get out that much.
So you dealt with all these nobles, and you are doing all these fancy things, going to these galas.
Yeah, it's wild.
What does a noble gala look like? There's no elephants attending from far away. There's no, fireworks.
It was kind of boring, honestly.
Yes, JP, they don't quite get as decadent in Pugmire.
Well, I like them a little bit more.
The precepts of Mao is something that some people don't follow. They're more like guidelines than precepts.
Oh.
But the first one is always trust your instincts.
I don't know why you're bringing these pieces of shit rules up.
Because, JP, it doesn't matter. There's always trust your instincts, and that is something I will always do, and that is something you do regardless of you believing in them or not. While we supposedly have lives to spare, it's what we do in the lives that we have that actually matters. I am okay and I'm on board with going to get this information. But that is all. I am not doing this to be a savior. I am not doing this to bring an end to anything. There have always been unseen as far as we know. And until fate or whatever has it intervenes, there will always be things we don't see. There will always be something unseen that will hurt us. So, information is wonderful. I will do what I can to minister to people's needs. But that is why I'm on this mission. To take care of all of you.
Makes sense. I mean, I don't think any of us are here to risk our lives. I mean, we're going to, but I mean, I just want to help you guys how I can, and then probably go home again. Or maybe to the monarchies. It sounds interesting, but point is, I don't want to end things here.
I do have a question. And his eyes, y'all know his demeanor. He doesn't like make swift movements ever. He kind of slowly glances over to Baguette. I do not claim to know everything there is about the church. I personally do not care. That is not to be disrespectful. It's the truth. I do not go to a leader. I go to the source. However, if you have spoken to them lately, what is their goal with this mission? Is this something more personal, or is this something for a greater cause? I ask because I know that from the time I have known you, you are someone who cares deeply about saving our world, or being a light, for lack of a better word, against the unseen. I am curious to know how far you are willing to go.
And everybody who has known Baguette for a while, if you know her based on she tries to be really happy, and she tries to make her friends feel better with tea and everything, and this would probably be the first time she just gets a really more somber look to herself that you're just not accustomed to seeing out of her. And she thinks for a minute. It is part of my calling to protect all from the unseen. Is a core aspect of the church. But there's a reason why I made this, why it is my calling. You ask how far I'd go. And I would go as far as I need to. And if that means giving up my life for it, I would. It is. And she doesn't, like, she wasn't going to talk about it, but now she's like, okay, put on the spot. Some of you met my father. Grimly, you remember him.
For viewers, that's Morty Corgi, who wrote Morty Corgi's Scroll of Mysteries.
He was something.
And he's been something for a long time. And he's very important, and he travels, and he goes on missions like what we're on now. So he would not always be home. I don't think Bagel remembers this, or if he does, I don't think he knows the truth. we were small pups. And we were going on a nature walk with our mother, who loved nature. It's where Bagel gets it. And she was smart. She would have made a great shepherd or anything she wanted to do. She knew some things, and she knew enough, and she kept a dagger with her, and it was a silver dagger, and I didn't pay attention to that. And we were out walking and enjoying the day. There was this sound, this horrible sound, and a smell that I won't forget. And she told us to get safe and not to look. And I couldn't move. I was so scared I couldn't move. But I opened my eyes. I looked anyway. And it was this thing, it looked a little bit like a dog, but it wasn't a dog. It had eyes that glowed, and it had spikes, and it was... And she fought, and she fought, and she fought, and she killed it. But it killed her in the process. And we were just there alone with her until people found us. And Bagel, I think, just believed that it was just an attack, just one of those things. But I heard the adults talking. And I knew. It was a demon hound that had come out of the woods. And it was hungry. And she just kind of holds up her holy symbol. This was hers. And so, yeah. Bagel went out and got very good at fighting monsters that lurk about in nature and made a name for himself. And I became a member of the church. And I swore that that would be my contribution, that I wouldn't ever let myself be so scared that I couldn't help. I saw that demon at the museum, and it wasn't just the possessed dog that I saw, it was the actual demon I could see. Those are the things that kill people, and they've been killing people, and I don't know what they want. And this sounds very unenlightened of me, but I don't care. I care enough if I can give them what they need, that they will go away and stop doing this to people, then fine. If I have to destroy every last single one of them, I will. And I'm not asking anybody else to go any further that they want to go, but I will.
See, that is where I understand you a little bit more, huh?
There's just this little tear coming down her cheek.
It would do you well to give credence to other people's journeys as well, to get them on your side.
Does it answer your question?
It does. But it gets to a second point. One, Again, I'm not of the church, but I am someone who understands death. So I do apologize, and I sympathize with the death of your mother. And I am sure they are roaming with man as we speak. But as you said, this is a mission, something that you so deeply within yourself know that this is what you must do. And I do not fault that. I actually see a fire that I honestly did not see before now. I see why you do what you do. And I'm sure we are all willing to figure out and do what must be done for the mission at hand. However, if it gets to the point where we do not see any good coming from this mission, and one by one we fall back, will you fault us for that?
No. But just understand if I stay.
I will understand that completely. I do not foresee it getting to that point. I do not think, again, we are here to be, for a word that man like to use a lot for some reason, superheroes. That is not what we are. But if it gets to a point where you feel like you need to be a brighter light than perhaps you thought, and we must go, then that is what will be.
She just nods.
Mr. Tibbles, you're the only one who hasn't said how far you would go on this mission.
I am a warrior. Always have, always will be. I haven't been with you guys long, but I am with Baguette. I do not fear death.
Oh, but you see, the unseen have the possession, so you may not die.
I would
I
do
do
everything
not-
in my possible to make sure that doesn't happen.
I do not feel life either.
Very well. Just thought I would put that on your plate.
I think we are all in one accord that we are here for different reasons. And we all have different goals. Though I do not think we need to look at the farther outcome at this very second. We are still on a ship going to a place that we do not know exists for sure.
There's also the question, if you got stuck on the island, you don't know how you would leave.
And that is something we will get to once we get there.
Yep, this is Earth's whole just could I Earth's internal monologue. If I get stuck on an island for God knows how long with these people, will I survive? Yes. You know, this is just going through our head.
Will you
All
survive
of
on
us-
the island or on the island with us?
Well, there you go.
She's weighing that, you know. She's weighing it.
Little
because she
column
will-
A, little column B.
But Earth isn't fine. I think we all know what we need to do. We've got the compass. Perhaps we can get that to a navigator, JP, someone who's...
I will go speak with the captain.
Yes, and we have the lantern that dispels the fog for when that comes up. And apparently we have to look for the boat. So when everything looks the worst it could possibly look, we know we're in the right place.
Very well. Well, I will go speak to this captain. I have some ideas. outside of these arrangements that I want to propose to her. So I'll see you all around our current abode, and Jean-Pierre will leave.
Eartha just watches JP leave with. Well, he comes in handy when you need something blown up, so.
He is a very interesting character.
He is one of the most loyal and dependable people, cats, creatures you will ever meet. He may not do it with verbal alacrity or grace, but as he is telling you where exactly you can shove your paw, he will also pull you out of the way of danger.
I do have a quick question. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Gurley. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Go for it.
Oh,
I didn't have.
okay. I will look at Grimly and Tibbles. I do not mean to cut you out of this current conversation, but I do not believe this is where your skills align. As my eyes turn to Baguette and I'll take Baguette and Corgi, Baguette and Eartha. As far as our arcane gifts, we all seem to get them from different places. Therefore, that might be something to our advantage. What, if I may ask, what else can you do? I do not think I've seen the full potential of either of you, as you haven't seen the full potential of me either.
Well, there's a reason I retreated into a lot of prayer after the museum. Well, there are a few reasons. But I think I've figured out how to do something I wish I had known how to do at the museum. I can dispel them now.
I made a pact. Bad word. I convened with Claudia, and she gave me the means to do the same. So that is double.
Good. It means that if any of us are possessed, we can cure them. That's been my goal, was learning how to do that so people don't have to die if they are possessed.
Jean-Pierre, how you doing walking on that deck looking for the captain?
Oh, perfectly fine. I have no worries about this ocean unless I fall inside of it. So as long as I am on this boat, I have nothing to worry about.
All right, you can find Captain Saltclaw fairly easily. She is at the helm.
Jean-Pierre will just kind of
She looks.
sit on a nearby hand railing
Mm-hmm.
and just look at her.
She kind of tips her hat to you and goes, "Monarchies, how you doing?"
I'm sorry, did you just call me monarchies?
Well, that's where you're from, right?
In a way, but aren't you from there as well? I could call you monarchies. How would that make you feel?
I'm from the sea.
No, you're not.
I might have been born in the monarchies, but the acid sea raised me. Turned me into the salty claw I am, lad.
Well, then you should call me the King of Thieves.
Now that's quite a title.
It was given to me, but you roll with the nicknames you are given.
You know, a captain's a king on her own ship. So I hope you and I don't have any authority fights.
Well, those sort of encounters will have to be solved in peaceable ways, no?
I ship it.
Don't rob my crew.
Oh,
And I
your
won't slit
crew
your
has
throat.
nothing of valuable to me.
So what are you doing?
Uh,
Just taking
two
in the view?
things. Well, that is one of the things I am doing.
She
But,
kind of swishes her tail back and forth.
the second thing I'm doing is giving you this magical compass that will guide you to this mysterious island.
She kind of takes the compass and goes, it doesn't point north.
No. It points where the island is.
Says who?
Says the magical dog that gave it to us, that told us where this place was, huh?
And you trust some dog who gave
You
you
trust-
a compass.
You trust some strange group of cats and dogs to come onto your boat and not murder you?
Like a good coin from the princess.
Coin does nothing to you when you're dead.
Fair point.
Anyway, we have it on good source, just the same way that you are treating us kindly from the coin from the princess, that this compass points us to the direction of this magical island. So, it should get there. When this mysterious fog shows up, we have a large lantern to cast it away, and then we have other things to get us onto the island.
Well, that's interesting. Where have you been hiding a lantern?
On the back of the large dogs that came on the boat.
Oh, the skinny one.
Oui.
Where'd he hide a lantern?
It's like a profile standing like that. You can't see a lantern behind him.
It was on his back. You did not see?
I didn't much notice. We were loading in the cannons.
Oui.
Well, thank you. I'll take it under consideration. I mean,
Very good.
the guests set the course. And we are under princess's orders.
That is precisely what I'm just asking. This is not my mission, but I am here to push it along.
What's in it for you? This island, what don't exist.
Oh,
Sand
this
on the
island?
sea that burns when you touch it.
The island, there's nothing for me there. But I am on this trip for the other things that I want to propose to you. On your dealings on the sea, I may ask if you have heard of the Claws, the common cat.
Well, I've got plenty claws and plenty of common cats.
I will say that is a no. Well, I'm assuming that there is also a reason why you left the monarchies in the first place.
Not enough water, love.
Of course, right. That is exactly what you would say. Well, the monarchy stole my home from me.
That sounds about right. They steal a lot of homes.
And I want to kill them for it. All of them.
Every cat in the monarchy.
No. Being a captain of a ship, I would think you have a bigger brain. Anyway.
You said you want to kill the whole monarchy. So that's every cat in a large
The
group
monarchies.
of land.
The monarchies. The monarchs.
Oh, like the head of... Oh.
Oui.
You know what I see, love?
No, I don't.
A long stretch of green, acidic, free sea and freedom. Where nobody can tell me what to do. And fuck the monarchies. That's what I see.
Well, sooner or later, the monarchies will build an armada and come and enforce their laws on you. You know that is the way, that is our way. Am I wrong?
Well, now you're just being unpleasant.
Well,
and I don't appreciate you hassling me
to,
while I steal my ship.
I am trying to start a business deal with you, Captain. I am trying to ask if you would give me and my compatriots, my comrades, aid in whatever we brew up against the monarchies.
I'm
We work
taking you to
together.
an island what don't exist. What more aid do you need, love?
Never mind. Have a good rest of your evening, Captain. And Jean-Pierre will hop off the railing he was on and climb back up the crow's nest.
As you are climbing up, you see the owl fly down, and you hear a hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
Fuck.
And all of the crew start scrambling. And the captain says, "Hey, monarchies. You want to make a business deal?"
You call me that one more time, and you will not enjoy what happens next.
You want to make a business deal? You've got your chance to prove yourself. Looks like
Wonderful.
Scraffles up there has just found himself a salvage ship. You and your crew go investigate. Bring me something shiny. Then we'll talk.
Sure, I will let them know. Monarchies. And he'll go below deck.
So JP has to now come tell Eartha that the captain wants them to go pillage. Gotcha.
A shipwreck, yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Jean-Pierre will open the door and say, excusez-moi, the captain has asked us if we would go get the loot off of a crashed ship that we are coming up on.
A crash ship.
I'm going to say something that you will not understand. That is something that men like to say. Flip it and reverse it. What?
What?
It is exactly what I said. The captain wants this group of dogs and cats to go off of the boat onto another boat that is sinking or crashed and get all of their goods.
And how does this interfere with what the princess has told them to do?
That is a good question. But it doesn't. The captain is looking for money.
Eartha has because Eartha just was asked, what can she do? What's the extent of what she can do? And had not answered yet. As these two super powerful spiritual people were talking about all the stuff they can do with the unseen. So this is going, how do I answer this question? JP comes back after telling her, I'm just going to go give this compass to the captain, and then drops this on her. And she just goes, I'm exceptionally good at looking beautiful and knowing when to remove myself from a situation. But that last part I've really been challenged with lately. JP, when you gave her the compass, did you just say, here's a compass and this is what we need you to follow?
I explained it is magical and points the way to the island. She asked, how do I know that it points the way to the island? And I told her that she can trust the same money that the princess gave her, and why she trusts us to be on her boat.
Okay. And then after that, she just said, oh, by the way, I need you and your friends to go get the stuff off of the other boat.
No, we had a small discussion where I discovered she is not as bright as she was before. And then I went to go climb the crow's nest to talk to my friend Buzzers. Then the owls that I was going to speak to flew down and made a hooting noise. And then the rest of the crew came up, and then the captain said that there was a salvage to begin.
All right, anybody here have experience with pillaging and looting? Because they didn't cover that in my training.
I mean, I do, but I'm not going off this boat.
It's not exactly on my resume. So she's not going to help us unless we salvage this thing?
No, she is a pirate.
Oh.
Oh, that's what you've confirmed, that she's actually a pirate. So if we say
a particularly dense one,
You know what, JP, I
Oh, forgive me. My emotions are coming through.
That's more than okay. I wish I could say this is new to me, but it is not. Why don't we just tell her thank you for the offer? I'm assuming it's some type of hospitality, but no thank you. Are we all on board with not wanting to go onto a boat that we don't know what it is and get stuff off of it?
My question, if we say no, will this trip end here?
That's was my follow-up.
No.
Now,
Sure,
JP,
'cause-
I appreciate your wit and your unschooled brain. That is not whether the point is.
Your unschooled brain should take a moment to think before you think that someone is unschooled, monsieur.
What
But-
I mean is
That I am uneducated, which is incorrect.
that is not what I said.
You called me unschooled. I believe that direct translation in
What
English
What
is
I was
that I have
saying,
no
if you
education.
would not infer on what I was saying, is that you have more knowledge when it comes to common sense and street smarts, for lack of a better word. More
He's
than I
calling
do.
you street smart, not book smart.
And he's not saying you're
he's
not
trying to do that.
It's a long, winding road to get to that point.
However, what I was saying was that I do trust your brain. That does not mean you know exactly what they will do.
That is true.
Now, I could figure out what they were thinking. That's not what I plan on doing.
Well, I will go tell the captain now, and then we will see.
And before JP leaves, he's going to feel a telepathic bond come through as Earth is going to say, JP, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Juste parce que j'ai just switched to French. To French right off the bat.
Cannot.
I mean, what is going on?
Oh, well, you see, I attempted to ask the captain if she was interested in making an arrangement after this is over.
Yes,
She was
okay.
not understanding my arrangements that I was offering, so I decided to say, never mind, forget it, we'll move on. And then this occurred, and then she brought this up. So, because of the situation, if I say no, I do not think it will be jeopardizing anything that we come across. See?
Thank you.
Everything is
She's
okay.
still trying to. Everything is fine. It's just some hospitality. I am going to. Well, this is my cabin, so I'm just going to go to another cabin, and think about all of this. Shepherd Baguette, Vincent, the aloof. You asked me what I can do. What are the extents of my abilities? The truth is, I really only show up to support the people that I care about and look good doing it. There are other ministers, if you're asking, who are specifically trained, almost similar to shepherds. That was not the training I received. So how useful I will be? Just about as useful I was against a boogeyman. But I will always be there.
I will say to you, I do not know what training you might have had, but I do not know many who can call the moon from the sky.
Exactly. You've been more helpful in more ways than you may realize.
That's the problem. The more I try to help, the more things go bad, usually. So
Not in my experience.
I appreciate that. I am overdue for some serious grooming. Somebody remind JP that the acid salt air is definitely going to corrode some fur unless you clean regularly every day, Mr. Tibbles. Make sure you are grooming regularly every day. If you let it sit, it starts to burn after a couple of days.
Will do.
And she's going to go to another cabin because everyone is in her cabin.
Oh, Baguette will head out.
So,
You know.
Eartha, as you and Baguette head out, you see a bunch of otters, mice, Smoke Paws the frog, and that same single turtle. And they're all kind of bounding except for the turtle, who's moving very slowly. And they're just going, the otter is juggling, going, and you all hear them very excitedly talking about salvage ship. Salvage ship.
Is it actually sinking, or is it just moored somewhere?
Are you asking?
Yeah, she's kind of asking out loud. Like,
the turtle kind of turns to you and goes, well, it seems like it probably got covered in ship scales and couldn't move anymore, so it was abandoned. That's why we always send Smoke Paws to check for ship scales and scrape them off. They're very good for armor, but not so good for mobility. So she's afloat, but dead in the water, and full of goodies.
Kind of turn to Earth and say, you know, it may be too late to help any of the people on the boat, but the thought occurs to me. They might have things that would be useful to us. If they were coming out this way, I don't know who they are. I don't know what their mission is or was. I wouldn't say no if the rest of the group thought this was something worthwhile. If nothing else, if there are individuals on that ship, then maybe I can offer a prayer of rest to them to send them on their next journey. I wouldn't say no.
Give me about 2 hours to think this over. And she's just going to go into a different cabin, close the door slowly, and then after a moment you hear...
Poor Eartha. I feel so bad for Eartha.
And that's
where therapeutic.
We'll leave tonight's Paws and Claws with Eartha screaming in a cabin.
Oh my goodness.
So
fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I love Eartha.
I'm Jess. I've been your guide. And hey, come back tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Storytellers and Coffee. It's going to be me and a bunch of other Onyx Path storytellers. And tomorrow we're talking about narrative game design and adventure publication. So if that's something you are interested, join, because we're just going to chat about that for 2 hours. But you can find me on Twitter at Miss_Just03. And this week I released a Lasers and Feelings hack called Dumpster Fire, where you can play as a possum, a rat, a raccoon, or a pile of trashy fiction and defend your dumpster. Let's meet our cats and dogs, starting with Baguette.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for, being with Baguette as she had a little bit of an emotional breakdown today. I am Lynn Meyer, and I write games, and I stream games, and I edit stuff. So follow me on Twitter and see all the things that are coming about. The most recent one was Unbreakable, which is an Own Voices Asian anthology, which I had the pleasure of editing. So I really recommend you check out some really phenomenal authors and artists in that work. So go to DriveThruRPG and you can find that. It's awesome. So that's me.
Vincent.
Shit. 1 second. Shit. Okay. Hello. Sup? Fucking Nightbot. How dare you?
I know, Nightbot just betrayed me. We have a Patreon. Join it. It's cool. It's fun.
Hello everyone, Critical Bard here. Critical Bard across all social media channels. You can catch me many places. If it happens, I really don't know because the last 2 weeks it hasn't. On Friday, you can catch me on Lady Tiefling's Twitch channel as we descend into Avernus. Finally, right after that, you can catch me on Drop the Dice Twitch channel as we play our All Rogue campaign. I also have an All Bard campaign run by Honey that we play depending on the day. Not streamed yet, but hopefully that happens soon. Yeah, many things. Critical Role, Jingle Artist officially, but most and fucking importantly, your boy is on the DM's Guild. You can catch me in my first subclass, the College of Acapella. Lots of love has went into this, and I'm very excited to share it. Many people have been in great help with that, and so it'd be cool if you can check that out. If not, that's fine too. Just happy that it's there. Mwah. That's me.
Jean-Pierre, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hello, my name is Cameron. You can find me on Twitter on CamB_32.
Did it
I've
change?
got,
It's not Cam Blair _32?
yeah, I changed it because it was too
Damn
long.
it, Cameron.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
You should have told me.
I'm sorry. I'm not. But anyway, you find me on Twitter. There you can see that I've got an adventure out on the DM's Guild, and I have a barbarian subclass out on the DM's Guild as well. But enough about me. I want to boost Critical Bard's subclass, Bardic subclass, because it's really good. It encapsulates his whole brand. It's really wonderful. So please check it out.
But fuck that. Check his out too. Bye.
Mr. Tibbles, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hello, I'm Alan Engelson. I do not have any creations. I just love games and love to play them. I just play test professionally, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, your name is in almost everything that I've published on the DM's Guild.
Yep.
Grimly, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Alan C. Johnson. You can find me at Twitter, at Norler Jenkins. I do voice work on the DM's Guild for writing and all sorts of other fun things. And you can find my work coming out soon and in some of Jess's stuff now. So.
And lastly, not leastly, Eartha Kitty, who are you? Where can we find you?
Got to unmute. I am Honey, aka Honey and Dice, both on Twitter and on Instagram. There's nothing on the Instagram yet because I suck at social media, but I just didn't want anyone else to take the name. I'm everybody's biggest cheerleader. That's pretty much what my job is, boosting everybody else up and reminding them to love themselves. I am a DM/GM/storyteller/ whatever it is for quite a few people. Basically, that's one of my ways of showing love. I play on stuff that just asks me to play on for the most part, and charity streams as well. And I run a workshop called Embrace the Initiative, which helps to build more confident or comfortable DMs and GMs in our space. I do a lot of sensitivity reading. I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes to do my part to help people. That's about it. My cybersecurity tip of the week will always be remember to change your passwords, remember to update your passwords, and be very, 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 very mindful of the emails coming in to remind you of things to change on your existing accounts. I have gotten ones from PayPal, from Facebook, from several other social media accounts that were spoofed emails with a link in them. But everything else in it down to the footer looked exactly like a legitimate email from these legitimate companies. So check your links. It's very easy. Right click or hover over the link to see what the actual button leads to before you do any left clicking. Just going to be my reminder. Right from left, yeah. Right click on it before you do any left clicking. And just stay safe. Just please stay safe.
And thank you so much for joining us. We love you so much. Lynn's cat, Izzy, loves you very much, too.
Yes, he always pops up on this stream because he loves you all.
And Nightbot hates me and won't let me link our Patreon, but we have one, so check it out. And we will see you at 7 p.m. Eastern the same time next week. So take care of yourself, stay healthy, and thank you for spending your Tuesday with us.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.